Morning, how are you this morning?
Morning, Michelle. Yeah, I'm fine.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's a lovely morning.
Perfect. Would you like to tell all of viewers and listeners who you are and what you do?
Yes, so my name's Ian Morrison. I'm one of the tree officers for the City of Edinburgh Council. Basically, there's 4 of us in the council, and we all cover a locality area. And I'm lucky enough to cover the southeast locality. So that's basically everything from probably the new town all the way to the city bypass. And within that, there's a number of sites where I manage the publicly owned trees. So Princess Street being one of them, which is pretty fantastic.
Yes, and we're here today to look at some of the cherry trees. How many different specimens of cherry tree are there?
Different varieties in Princess Street Gardens. I think there's about 15. So there's actually more in some other parts in terms of like Japanese flowering ornamentals, but there's still a nice little collection in here. At varying ages. So we've got behind us here, one we're going to talk about a little bit is the wild cherry, or bean in Scotland as we call it. But then you've got the sort of Japanese Kanzan flowering ornamentals along the main kind of north embankment, so to speak. But there's a number, so even this fella right over here, I don't know if we can pan around, but this is a Sergeant's cherry, one of the earlier ones to come into blossom. It's got a beautiful, simple 5-petal flower, pink flower. So we've got a number picking around. Yeah, so we're quite lucky here as well. It's quite a nice mix.
Excellent. You were saying that this is a native cherry.
Yes.
So how did Scotland come to have cherry trees?
Well, in terms of native, I mean, that's defined by basically the trees that were here, or the seed that came here after the last glacial period. So we're talking roughly 10,000 years ago. So cherry is native to Scotland, to the UK, but all of bean is. It's also native to a lot of Europe as well. So following that glacial period, bean was one of the species that moved in populate the land. So it's great in terms of, obviously, because it's a native tree, it's great in terms of obviously all the other species that rely upon it in terms of native biodiversity. So yeah, as you can see, it's quite a striking tree. They're quite a big species, so they grow quite big for a cherry. Sort of 15 plus metres, and this is quite a tall one. Whereas the flowering ornamentals that come often from Japan are much smaller, usually they're stout, but they're usually much lower in spread. Whereas these fellas actually got, as you can see, quite big.
So how old do you think this one is, roughly?
This one is at least as old as my colleague David. So yeah, I would say
this is David.
I would say it's about 75 years old.
Okay.
But it's always hard to be totally sure of these things. And it does depend on the location, the soil conditions, how the tree's been treated over the years. So there's obviously paths and roads or access routes that go next to this tree, and there's been root pruned, and that will have an effect on the growth of the tree. So it's always kind of hard to be totally sure. Look at the stem diameter and the height of the tree, you can kind of guesstimate. So quite an old fella. They'd say they don't live that old, about 100 years, which is still reasonably old. But I have seen much older specimens, and hopefully this one's in good nick, so hopefully it lasts for many years.
Perfect. So would bean be the one you would recommend to anybody looking to plant one in their own garden?
I would recommend it for sure if you've got a big garden. So if you've got plenty of space, absolutely, great tree. And as I say, because it's a native, it's brilliant for our own native biodiversity, bird life, and obviously all the insect life that comes with that, the fungi and whatnot, and all those associations. But if you've got a little bit less space, then I would be opting for one of the more sort of ornamental varieties. Or if you're looking for a fruit crop, fruiting varieties. So that you can go from airing like there's some beautiful small cherries that are only going to ever get a couple of metres in width and probably 2 or 3 metres in height. One's called Shields Beacon Cherry, and another one is try to think of the common name. I can't remember which is, but the scientific name is Prunus subvertilla rosea pendula. So that's a beautiful little weekend cherry as well, and they never get bigger than a couple of years. And then you can go for the bigger varieties of whether ornamental, something like a Yoshino cherry or Prunus pandora. They're again beautiful trees. They don't get massive, but they're beautiful blossom. And then if you want fruiting varieties, you've got the Morello cherry, which is a common one, but it's brilliant, sort of late summer fruiting variety. And then you've got other fruiting varieties. Now there's a huge range, Stella, Cordia. Again, Cordia I think actually is a Prunus avium variety, so it will get bigger. So there's loads of scope in terms of cherries. It's a huge variety. It's a good tree to plant in the garden if you've got a little bit of room, but you've got to have a bit of light as well. So you wouldn't want to plant it on a north facing ground. It needs to get good sunlight through the day, and it doesn't like to sit in wet ground. So you want your soil to be a nice kind of light, warm, friable, free draining soil. You don't want to stick it in like a heavy clay, which will give you problems. Your cherry won't like that, and they don't like compaction either. So you want to put it in a space where it won't be like constantly trodden on or walking around it. You want to kind of put it there and kind of poke leaves, so if you've got a kind of the end of your garden or a border you won't go into all the time, that's perfect. It's a thing in Japan even where now they're noticed that compaction just through people walking on the ground around the cherry trees is causing basically more spaces in the soil to close and roots need to breathe just like us. So that what's happening because of the compaction, so many people go and visit them. They're finding the trees are starting to die back because of that, because the roots are actually asphyxiating. So there's all these things to consider, but all the varieties are they've been grown for centuries in Japan, even here, and they've really honed the varieties in the cultivars. So they're generally a healthy tree. You just got to give them what they like, and you will tend to get a good return. In terms of, I'm trying to think beyond that, you don't need to do a lot of pruning either. So pruning wise, if you are feeling right, I need to prune this tree, you would prune it at this point in time. So in the springtime, when they're in flower, even, or just before they're in flower. When the sap's rising, that will generally deter any kind of pathogens going into the pruning. Prune them too late in this climate, so if you're pruning them in autumn time here, you're going to get problems. So there's like different fungus varieties, like silverleaf fungus, which will tend to move in if you prune it wrong. I'm ranting on here, Michelle. I'm sure you're going to
you're being very informative. No, perfect. Just to round it up, if anybody's interested in purchasing a cherry tree, where would be the best place to go to?
Right, well, I would say shop around. I mean, every garden centre now is going to stock a great variety of ornamental cherry trees and a wild bee. I mean, you should be able to pick up, it depends what you want, so you can pick up a small one, but relative, I say small, so it's something that's probably sort of 60 centimetres in height, and it should be relatively cheap, whatever it is. But so if you go to a garden centre, people tend to buy sort of what we would call a maiden or a half stand or something that's maybe about my height, about a couple of metres, not quite. And that will cost you more, so you're sort of talking anything for sort of the more common Japanese ornamental varieties are from 40 to 50 pounds, whereas some of the more rare, unusual varieties can be up to 100 pounds. But I would definitely be shopping around. I wouldn't, obviously you've got the benefit of being online as well now, so you can kind of scout if you've got a variety in mind, sort of online. I would be aware of when you're purchasing a tree of biosecurity. Yeah, so just one thing to be conscious about when you're purchasing a tree for your garden, it's just like when we are planting trees in city parks, biosecurity is now a key element of that. So you want to know that you're buying a healthy tree and that the supplier can evidence that they've taken proper key considerations when checking the health of that tree for growing it from an early point in the stage. So where they have collected the seed source from maybe, or where they bought the tree from, and they brought it to their nursery, how they monitored it, how they monitored the soil it's growing in as well. And often that information won't be out there just to see when you go to a nursery or when you look online even. So sometimes you might need to ask that question. But it's something that we should be asking just as going forward. I think any kind of responsible supplier will be able to tell you, with the appropriate checks and if they're monitoring the health of their trees or their plants going forward, so that you know that you're buying something that's going to be safe to put in your garden, that won't create a problem for your garden, the other trees or plants there, and also for the wider environment. You want to be careful if you can.
That's brilliant. Oh, thanks so very much, Ian. That's brilliant. Very informative.